Hello and welcome back to Up the Villa podcast, and welcome to Transfer Hub, your home of Aston Villa's transfer news, rumours, new signings coming in, and just the general vibe across the summer with all of the news while Aston Villa currently aren't playing. This is the place to be. So welcome to Transfer Hub. We've got a little cheeky rumour today, and it's an exciting rumour. It's a good one, Villa fans. Well, I've got two for you. Two who I think would suit Aston Villa really, really well, and I'm looking forward to seeing how these rumours develop. We've heard of the new director of football that's potentially coming in, and he's going to be touting La Liga and looking at those type of signings. And we're hearing that he's crucial when the window starts getting towards the end of the deadline, and then he can really ramp up and bring in those players that are required in a window as well. So I think his management of a window is really, really good. But we've got two rumours coming today. We've got one, Tom Colomose reporting that Aston Villa are monitoring the situation with Harvey Barnes. So I think every Villa fan can understand how good Harvey Barnes is, because he scores against us every time we play Leicester, basically. So he's a player that I really, really like. I think he's so underrated in the Premier League. I think he's so underrated. It's unbelievable. You know, his pace, his power, his directness, his passing in transition is very, very good. I think his thinking is quick. It's assured. It's competent. And I think he reads the game really, really well. I was watching Leicester against Everton, and I don't think he had, like, an amazing game, but he was still in the game. He was still a threat all game. And I think that's what Harvey Barnes poses for Leicester, and he would potentially pose for a side wherever he goes. He bags goals. He can get assists. He's so pacey. And I think we're looking at Villa now and where we're going to address our squad in the summer. And for me, it really does feel like the two midfielders either side of a double pivot and a winger up top. Those are the areas that I think I'm sort of looking at Villa need to strengthen a little bit. So, as we always do, let's have a little look at the player profile of Harvey Barnes. So this season, he's got a 6.62 rating, which is just a little bit below the rating of under 7, the 7 rating that I like. He's got a market value of 35 million, 25 years of age, so still really, really young. And, you know, if you look at that heat map, heavy down that left-hand side. So you can imagine him, you could imagine where he would be for Villa. He would be fitting in this half winger, half inside sort of midfield forward vibe. So anywhere across this area, I do feel like this area for Aston Villa is a specialised position. I think when Emery was talking in the summer that he wanted this specialised winger, I think this was partly the area that he was talking about, and this area through here as well. So this area for me really needs looking at for Aston Villa. And I think, imagine Harvey Barnes down there. He would be setting it alight. He would be absolutely tearing it up. So Harvey Barnes is a player that I really, really like, really, really rate. This season, he's got 10 goals. He's played 30 games, started 29. His goal conversion rate is 15%. If we have a look at some more of he's only got 1 assist this season. Let's have a look at his dribbling success then. So he's got only 33 dribble success. I thought that would be a little bit higher. 35% of his duels won. Ground duels won 35%, and aerial duels 35%. So let's have a look at some of his other seasons for Leicester as well. Let's go back to last season. So last season, he had a SOFA score rating of 6.79. He scored 6 goals last season and he got 10 assists. His dribbling success was a little bit higher last season at 41%. We'll go back one more season in the Premier League then to 2022 season. A 6.86 for Harvey Barnes. He had 9 goals and 4 assists, and his dribbling success was 45%. So a little bit higher in those seasons. This season, Leicester haven't really been performing, have they? They've been all over the place, but I do think Leicester potentially might stay up, which would mean that his value would still be pretty high. I think if they got relegated, you could maybe snap him up for around 15, 20-ish million maybe. But if they do stay up, then I'm guessing it would be onwards from 25 million to 30. So he's a player that I really rate. Villa fans, let me know in the comment section down below your thoughts on what you think of Harvey Barnes and this rumour. Second rumour that we're going to look at is a little bit more of an interesting one. And I think this has the connection with Alemany, where I think the Barca connection, and the player is Andreas Christensen. So Andreas Christensen, Barcelona central defender, a player that when he was at Chelsea, I actually really rated when he was at Chelsea. I always thought that he looked like a pretty solid centre-back. So I think this is an interesting one that we linked with another centre-back. But I do rate Christensen. I think he's a good central defender. He's got that aerial presence. He's really tall. So if we have a look at some of Christensen's stats, so Barcelona are top of La Liga. He's got a SofaScore rating this season of 7.13. 27 years of age, market value 29 million. He's played 18 games, started 17, scored 1 goal. If we have a look at some of his defending stats then, so they've made 7 clean sheets. He makes 0.8 interceptions per game, 0.8 tackles per game, 0.1% possession won per game, makes 2.4 clearances per game. Let's have a look at his total duels. He's won 62% of his total duels. He wins 51% of his aerial duels, and he wins 71% of his aerial duels. So 51% ground duels, 71% aerial duels, which is absolutely massive, isn't it? That on corners, set pieces, that's what you want. He's played in the Champions League. He's played in the Nations League. So he's also played in the Europa League as well. So he comes in with a wealth of experience, and I really like that. I really like that rumour as well. I think that's a good one. He's a player that's in the peak of his career, playing really well. So I think that's a little cheeky rumour to keep an eye on as well. But the Harvey Barnes one, I really like the Barnes one. I think what you get with that is you get Premier League experience as well, don't you? I think what we're going to do is we are going to sign a lot of players, and I think some will be for a big fee. I think some will be some unknown quantities. I think that's how Emery likes to operate anyway. So I think every link that we've had so far has been a pretty exciting one. So I think it's putting Villa fans, I think we're going to have an exciting summer with these signings. So Villa fans, I really want your thoughts, to be fair. Let me know what your thoughts are on Harvey Barnes and Andreas Christensen coming to Aston Villa potentially in the summer. So we've got our press conference coming up later on today as well. So I'll speak to you in a few hours. Up the Villa.